What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. And I reacted to a different video regarding this, but I just think it's funny. Australia lost a war to emus. And I know Australia, right? They ain't no full scale war with emus and lose. They sent a couple people with some machine guns. And they killed some emus, but it's too much emus to try to get their population in check in that form. So I believe they ended up allowing farmers to shoot emus if they came on the property. That started helping, I believe. But let's see hear how he explains it.
Australia lost a war to emus. But how? How the f*** did we lose an armed conflict with flightless birds? Well, it all started in 1932 when farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just one major problem. That's emu territory. And emus really like wheat. And coming in at 6 foot tall and 40 kilos.
Yeah, I'm not effing with that thing. Without being armed, bro, I'm not going. Look at that's a monster, bro. That will rip you to shreds.
In weight, they can eat a lot of it. So when breeding season came around, the emus migrated through the farmland, and these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of man-sized poultry, 20,000 emus strong. These feathered tanks then proceeded to completely
20,000 emus strong these farmers was having to deal with. Yeah, you do low-key got to bring in the military with 20,000 emus, dog.
steamroll through the fences, into the fields, and started laying waste to the wheat. The farmers attempted to fight back the initial wave with rifle fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely useless. This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help. Sir, 20,000 emus had hit the wheat fields. My mate. And so the government
20,000 emus have hit the wheat field, sir. We need to get this under control immediately, sir.
Declared the emus enemies of the state and sent in the army to commence the Great Emu War. The entire 7th Heavy Artillery Division was deployed to WA, armed with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and the sole objective to blast anything with feathers. A little bit excessive for an overgrown turkey if you ask me, and upon their first deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem. Emus are fast.
Yeah.
I am speed.
Very fast and capable of taking a good amount of damage.
Really fast, clocking a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which meant that once they opened fire, the emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons. But they still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping 12 emus. This embarrassment led the army to retreat and rethink their plan. So a few weeks later they returned, this time mounting the LMGs on trucks in an attempt to run the birds down. However, this also didn't work, because after figuring out that those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket, the emus started leaving scout birds who would warn the flock of the approaching trucks, which gave
these emus, they like, this is our food supply, like, we gonna do whatever it takes to make sure our food supply is good, but we gonna make sure we safe. But we ain't gonna leave.
Gave them all enough time to book it before the army even got there. And whenever they did catch the emus, they found out they were kind of... Because emus are mostly feathers, and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without doing any damage. Meaning it was taking around 10 bullets for every 1 bird. Exactly. So after a month of blood, sweat, tears, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960. The population was 20,000. This was an issue as, unlike America, our defense budget is not a bottomless pit. So the army had wasted all that money to achieve absolutely fuck all. So the government just kind of built a really long, really shit fence around the farms and called it a day. How the fuck did we lose this? I could have done a better job with a boomerang and a cricket bat.
Australia built the fence around the farm and started a day. That's all we got. I absolutely freaking love that. If you guys enjoyed, please don't forget to smash subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Check out the next. I'll see y'all next time.